Hello. Look what I did. Guess what? I'm back. Now, what is famous, or in fact, what am I trying to say here? What is interesting about this is YouTube's not real good about giving me notices about stuff. And so when I came in, I came on here to check, or came on my computer to check to see if it was back on, if my stream was back on. It was. No notification, which is, I guess, is that par for the course on YouTube? No, they haven't removed the strike, which is annoying me already. And to add insult to injury, the stream I did, or excuse me, the video I did yesterday, they limited the ads on it. Now, it looks like they may have remedied that, because was I mad? Was I mad when I saw that? Because I'm doing standalone videos, and because I couldn't do live streams, and they restricted the ads I could have on those videos that had no swearing, no yelling. I didn't do nothing, as the cool kids say. But I am back. I can do live streams again. Now here's the thing. Since I changed the names of those videos I did. They weren't streams. They weren't the actual Morning Night Live. So I changed the name of them to the Morning Not So Live and took the numbers off of them. I have decided that I'm going to resume officially Friday morning, so my numbering system doesn't get off. But at least, because I tell you what, if this wasn't functioning by this evening, I don't know how I could raise holy hell with YouTube, because again, I'm like a pinprick on the planet Jupiter to YouTube, but I was going to find a way to raise holy hell. I would have found a way. I don't know how that would have been, but I would have found a way. So anyway, I am back. Why do I sound so weird? Let's see here. Oh, there's something there. Do I sound weird to you? I don't know. But anyway, so, losing 4 days of my show really is disappointing, I got to tell you. And I just want to thank those of you who were patient and who watched the videos that I did when I was not on. In fact, I was kind of surprised at how many people watched those videos. They got some pretty good traction compared to a lot of the stuff that I put on. But and also I went over and streamed on Twitch and also on D Live, and I got some new followers over there. So maybe I can I'll multi-stream for starting on Friday for a while, and I will try to pull those Twitch followers over to YouTube. I'll try to I'll you know what I'll do? I'll multi-stream on Twitch, D Live, and YouTube for the next maybe 3 or 4 episodes, and just encourage people to come over to YouTube for this, because I prefer doing the streams on YouTube, because I know how it's set up, I know how it works, I know when the stuff is working, and their dashboard stuff is a lot easier to deal with. I prefer it to the other two. The other two, you're just watching your own stream, and I can't do anything with that. But so anyway, thank you for joining in tonight. I really am not doing a whole lot, but let me say good morning or good evening or whatever the hell it is. I'm so used to saying morning when I'm streaming that That's what I done said. So you know how it goes. So good evening to, as I turn this on. Good evening, Mike Savage, Blarg, and guess what? You're here first. You get the bell. Also, thank you for joining me, Lurking Gopher, Mr. Dax, Tyler F, Green Badger Outdoors, Attack Doors, Green Badger Outdoors. I'm going to say it right. Good morning, or good evening, Swirl Blue. Brian has opinions, formerly the Broken Baller. Oh, that's a new name. Hello, how you doing? Hello, Molly Mags. MC's in the house. Hammer time. Also, infamous one, Mr. Yes, Mr. I said Mr. Dax. Hello, Cynical Lindsay. Lindsay, you're back. I'm nice to see you. I was getting concerned. I'm glad you're around. Also, James PFP, Keenan, Select a Boy. Yeah, boy. And thank you all for joining me. It's going to be, like I said, it's going to be short and sweet, and hopefully you enjoy this little bit. Now, I really haven't. Oh, yeah, I'm going to actually watch this. Hang on a second. I'm going to do something. I'm going to send this out. Let's see. It's Wednesday Night Live. This is a special episode of Wednesday Night Live that I'm actually going to put out there on the Twitter thing. Let's see. There we go. Let's do that. And I'm calling this the FWEEDOM episode in honor of our fantastic and most wonderful Vice President Kamala Harris, and is streaming live now. Haha. Live. I'm live again. Yes. Hello, Willett Ford. Yes, I do live. I am so happy to be a part of your a part of your life and a part of my live stream, because it was very, very annoying. Now, I do have one little gripe about all that BS, though. Because I'm thinking about it, and, so this guy that did this strike on my channel, he basically admitted to me that he did a strike on something he had no idea whether I was going to do or not. This was like Minority Report, DMCA takedown. This guy had no idea whether or not I was going to use what he thought I was going to use. There was no clue in my original stream that I was going to use what he said I was going to use. There was no indication whatsoever. In fact, there was actually, had he read the description of the stream that I was planning, he should have known that I wasn't going to be broadcasting his material. I was going to be broadcasting myself talking to people peripheral around the Drake relays, not the track meet, and certainly not his stream. That's what he claimed I was doing on a stream that was scheduled for 9 o'clock Sunday night, when the Drake relays, which he would have been streaming live, would have been over. I mean, it's just maddening. It's insanity. All right, we're gonna put this out in Gab, Minds, Cloud Hub, and Parler, because I am on all those platforms. By the way, if you're wondering where I am on social media, anytime you need to look for me, just go to right there, at PDawgKnight. Same thing, just about on everything. And what the hell's going on here? Let's see. We'll post that. I am on all of those platforms. Why am I not logged into Minds? Sometimes this shit drives me insane. It's driving me insane. I don't even know if that's a song, but I just wrote it. Did you hear? You like that? Oh, whoa. Why is that so pixelated? What a nasty photo. Well, we'll see if that shows up that way when I post it. Yes, it did. That is weird. How did that happen? Okay, well, whatever. I don't know. Is my thumbnail pixelated on this? I've been around, but the last few months I've had to catch the show after it's over live. Fan of what you do, and should be able to resume live viewing next week. Fantastic. I'm in Ohio, so the time difference is one. Oh, I see. It's a bit of a thing because I'm usually dealing with the kids when you are on. Oh, well, I'm glad you make it here. It's fantastic. And, you know, I don't swear that lot, so I suppose I'm somewhat kid friendly. And, so thank you for being here. I appreciate it. Hello, Cannibalistic Wizard. Nice to see you. Welcome back. Yeah. I do live. I am back. I'm back like a heart attack. Yes, that is pixelated. That's really weird. I don't know why that is. That should not be pixelated, but whatever. I don't care. I'm just going to make it like a, let's see. I don't even care anymore. I just know I'm live again, and it's good for those who watch me and myself. So, what's up, people? I feel like I have been out of it. I could have, I could have done a show today because I do have, in fact, I have the articles all still open right here, right? Let's see. For you, it'd be right there on my computer, but you can't see my other screen. I got two screens up here. So if there's anything y'all want to talk about, I certainly will look it up. But I also do have, I have a few things that I wanted to talk about earlier today. Had my stream been reinstated a little more quickly. Also, the other thing is, I want to complete this before the President of the United States speaks before the joint Congress. Now, here is something that just popped up on my Twitter feed. And okay, hang on a second. Oh my God. Oh my God. Wait till you see this nonsense. Hang on. God, this man is a moron. I got to tell you. Oh my God, you are not going to believe what you're about to see. So this is from the White House. Early remarks as prepared for the delivery by President Biden to a joint session of Congress. Here's his first line. As I stand here tonight, we are just one day shy of the 100th day of my administration. 100 days since I took the oath of office, lifted my hand off our family Bible, and inherited a nation in crisis. The worst pandemic in a century. The worst economic crisis since the Great Depression. The worst attack on our democracy since the Civil War. The insurrection. Holy shit. Holy. Oh, I didn't swear. I'm talking to my friend Holy Shit over there. The worst attack on our democracy since the Civil War? Really? The selfie insurrection? I swear to God, if this man says a damn word about the people, the insurrectionists murdering an officer, I'm going to blow a gasket. By the way, since it is, okay, enough of that. Good God. Since it is Wednesday Night Live, I do have a cocktail. Kind of a, yeah, it's a Dickie barbecue pit. I have a very large Captain Coke right here. I wonder if I should just watch the speech live online. I'm going to see if anyone else is. I might join somebody and watch that. This is absolutely insane. I'm a little embarrassed for well, no, I'm not. I'm not embarrassed for Joe. He got pushed into this, right? He got pushed into doing this, and now here he is. Let's see if he gets through the whole speech. Well, first of all, okay, in the chat here, let's get an over and under first. An over and under on how long do you think President Biden's speech will be? Okay, anybody? Anybody got? Give me a number in hours and minutes. How long do you think this speech will be? And I'm going to give you my opinion after I see a few things in the chat. Boy, let's see what else is going on Twitter here. Captain Marvel was okay. It's strange that when John Kerry gets into trouble for helping Iran, Rudy Giuliani's son gets raided by the Fed. Yeah, what's this with Giuliani getting raided by the feds today? I'm really confused here. Especially when John Kerry did some little foreign politicking on his own. Apparently, he helped an enemy power against an ally, and not good, right? Not good. I don't know the details. I'll have to go check it out. I'm just scrolling through Twitter. Oh, Alyssa Milano's excited for the address tonight. Here she is. Twitter party tonight, 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 o'clock Eastern. Let's all watch this together. Oh, yay, yay. Woohoo. Fuck off, Alyssa Milano. I know I'm gonna get a yellow thing on this one because oh my God, yes, Constitutional Republic. I wish I could remind people saying that all the time. President Biden joined address to Congress. Oh, WhiteHouse.gov. Let's see what this says. Let's see what this says. Oh, how to watch the live stream of President Biden's address to the joint session of Congress. Really? You think we need help knowing how to watch this? Oh, to watch the address live, visit wh.gov/live or any of these video streams. YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, at POTUS. The White House live stream will feature supplemental information from the senior administration officials as part of our enhanced viewing experience. Woohoo! I can't wait. I think I might have to be drunk for this. I don't know. I might have to make a few more of these cocktails. White House feed. The White House feed will include ASL interpretations for accessibility, American Sign Language. The president will address the joint session of Congress at the United States Capitol on Wednesday, April 28, 2021. The President Biden's speech to Congress on April 28th will be the first speech to Congress as president. As is tradition, the first address to Congress for any new president is called a joint address rather than the State of the Union address. Yeah, and it's about, 2.5 months late compared to anybody else who's done every other president in the last 50 years. But hey, and we have a fact sheet. Here, let me go full screen so you can see the fact sheets. Let's see. Biden-Harris administration issues an executive order to raise minimum wage to $15 an hour for federal contractors. Now, you know what? You know what's funny about that? That is actually useless. Federal contractors, I'm going to guess already made $15 an hour. So that's just some fluff. And I can't imagine anyone doing work for the federal government pays less than $15 an hour for anything. Let's see. Is that it? Wait, that's I see. Oh, it says next. You got to click next on this. Okay, let's see what next says. Oh, I see. That's it. Okay. This is just shit. I don't care about any of that stuff. Anyway, so Lindsay was telling me about, what'd you say here, Lindsay? The feed will be cut the minute he utters one word, calling it. Oh, I don't know. That'd be interesting. What was this about? Okay. Giuliani raid is a distraction from John Kerry and the Arizona audit. Changed my mind. Oh, that's bell-worthy. I have to agree with you. I think that's absolutely a distraction. Okay, we got 18 in here. I know I'm it's funny because I'm doing this during HB is doing a stream. I think the AAA is going on. So a lot of my viewers watch both of those things. So they're probably not even figuring out I'm here. So that's okay. I am going to stream tomorrow morning, by the way, but it's not going to be an episode of the show. It's going to just be me letting people know I'm back, and the official return to the Morning Night Live will be Friday. Because again, I'm trying to keep my numbering system easy for me to remember. And since I left off at 579, the multiples of 5 are always on Friday, and that's the way I'm going to keep it. Hello, Bastard Beast. How you doing? Thank you for the welcome back. I appreciate that. So let's see what else we got here about. Let's see. Is there anything else? No, I don't care. Let's see. I want to check out. Okay, that's it for the president. Let's go back to Twitter here and see if there's anything interesting as I scroll through. By the way, thank you to Zach Osborne, MC for retweeting the tweet that I tweeted out to let everyone know I was going live. Let's see what else is on here. Oh, that was Alyssa Milano. My God, she's so excited for President Biden to give his speech. Wait till he has one of those mind melts. Okay, did anyone anyone vote on this? Come on, give me okay. In the chat right now. We're going to try this again. I'm asking you nicely. Please, pretty, please. Can you tell I'm a little excited to be back on? Pretty, please. Give me an idea of what you think the length of tonight's speech will be. Give me an idea. How long do you think this speech is going to be? I think it's going to be 20 minutes or less, but that's just me. And also, I wonder how many times he's going to just go blank. Because he does it every time he gives a speech. He just loses his train of thought and forgets what he's doing. Let's see. 2 deputies shot while performing a wellness check at a home in North Carolina. That's not good. That's breaking news. Let's see what this is from the Hill. I'm probably just going to do breaking news on Twitter instead of what I was going to do. Let's see. 2 deputies in North Carolina. Suspect barricaded in house. 2 deputies shot in North Carolina. 2 sheriff's deputies were shot in western North Carolina Wednesday, and the suspect remains barricaded inside a home at the scene of the shooting. This is a current event. Interesting. Law enforcement went to a home in Boone, North Carolina to perform a wellness check on a family after they did not attend their workplace or respond to phone calls. The Watauga County Sheriff's Office confirmed in a statement to The Hill. Sheriff's deputies were fired upon entering the home, and 2 were struck. One of the deputies was flown to Johnson City Medical Center in nearby Johnson County, Tennessee for treatment. The other deputy, whose condition is unknown, was still at the scene Wednesday afternoon. The sheriff's office said the shooter, who was not identified, remains active and is barricaded in a section of the home. Shooter periodically fires a weapon in the direction of the officers. Residents in the area were urged by local emergency services to stay inside their homes and to close the doors and windows, according to multiple reports. Now, let's see. Representative Virginia Fox, Republican, whose district includes Watauga County, tweeted that my prayers are with the deputy that was injured in the line of duty and entering Watauga and the entire Watauga County Sheriff's Department. This will be fascinating to see how this turns out. If this is there, look, oh gosh, if this suspect ends up deceased, finished, what's the word in muerta? If he ends up muerta, and he has I don't say lack of melanin. He's melanin. Let's see, melanin gifted, melanin deprived. You will hear about this all over the news. Whether they no, because if they take him alive and he's melanin deprived, oh boy, will Twitter light up like a Christmas tree. If he is melanin gifted and meets his demise, Twitter will light up like a Christmas tree. If he is melanin gifted and taken alive, you won't hear anything anymore about this story. Un muerta. Yes, un muerta. Hello, Jaeger Pony, my favorite Canadians in the house. Howdy! I'm acting a little goofy tonight. It's not the cocktail. This is only my first one, but I may drink several during the Biden address. Oh, Zablay, yours is the house too. Hello, and Moonbase Radio, how you doing? Will it Forge? I said hi already, and I already said Bash and Beast. Lord Stanhope, what's happening? And I think I'm caught up now. If he's melanin deficient and they take him alive, oh my God, is it going to be like, yeah, well, of course he's taking the white guy alive. You know what I need to do? I said this once before. What I need to do is to make a couple different, 2 or 3 collages. One with people who are less gifted with melanin. Hello, Check Your Logic. Yes, an evening show. Just because I can. I'm back. I feel so liberated. Anyway, so I need to make a collage or one of those just charts with pictures of just faces, right? And one should be a picture of melanin deficient people who were killed by police, okay, during things. And then I need to do a melanin gifted page of people who were arrested alive, right? And hello, James Colley, thank you, and Scotty Dubs, thank you, and People's Front of Canada, thank you. And then that way, so when everyone starts talking about their little, well, he's dead, he must be black, or he's taken alive, he must be white, just about white, that bullshit. Then I just put up my little collage on Twitter. The reason was, Keeve, Dr. Keeve, how you doing, ma'am? How you doing? Nice to see you. Is it okay to call you ma'am? I shouldn't probably call people ma'am. I don't even know how old you are, but anyway. All right, Melanin Challenge. Thank you. That's what I was trying to think of. Melanin Challenge and Melanin Gifted. Okay, that's okay. The color spectrum, nice. Right. So because I just every time on Twitter, because really the media and Twitter makes it seem like that every black person that comes into contact with police is killed, and that's not true, and we all know that's not true. If it were true, there wouldn't be so many people, melanin gifted people in jail, because they'd all be dead, right? And then then they're like, oh, well, they're gonna catch him alive and they're gonna take him to Burger King, because everyone talks about Dylan Roof all the time. I'm sick of it. I'm fucking sick of it. I really am. It's really annoying. Anyway, so good luck to the people in North Carolina. It'll be interesting to see. Let's see. Someone on the Ed Morris show. What's this? Oh, let's see what this is. Now I can cross almost ruining my best friend's proposal off my bucket list. Oh, that's just someone having something queued up here. I have some articles open, but I'm going through Twitter just to see there's anything breaking. Let's see. Look at the prime time hours now on Twitter between media accounts. They are all literally tweeting to each other what Tucker Carlson said at any given moment. It's fucking weird, man. They won't be tweeting. They won't be tweeting about Andrew Cuomo tonight. That's a certainty. I wonder. Oh, yeah. If you notice that, do you follow any of the media personalities on Twitter? It's almost like, especially Brian Stelter and what's that other jackass's name? What's his name? His little sidekick with the glasses. Anyway, they do literally. Brian Stelter practically tweets about Fox News constantly. It's all he tweets about. What this guy said, and what Tucker Carlson said, and what this asshole said. Blah 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 blah. And I'm just like, you're supposed to be a media reporter. There's other media besides Fox News, right? There, Brian Stelter. Although I'm assuming that he probably wrote about the New York Post. Did you hear about the New York Post thing? The reporter that resigned because she wrote the story about the books that supposedly the Kamala Harris's children book that was given out to people in, what do they call the migrant children asylum seeking welcome centers with the chain link fence, you know. Oliver Darcy, yeah, that jackass. Anyway, yeah, all they do is watch Fox News all day. It's. I mean, look, I don't even have to watch Fox News. All I have to do is go to Brian Stelter and Oliver Darcy's Twitter feed, and I know what's happening on Fox News pretty much any time of the day. Oh, here's interest. Okay, you know people have been talking about being chipped. So apparently in Japan, researchers in Japan say they have developed an ultra-thin, lightweight electronic skin to monitor the wearer's health. The wearable sensor can pick up signals such as heartbeat and electrical impulses from muscle movement. Okay. Let me ask you all a question. Oh, you see my hat. By the way, I don't know if you can see my hat. Can you see that now? You can get that at the PDawgKnight.live merch store. It comes in different colors too. You can get it all black. You can get it with the blue brim, I think a red brim, gray brim, or all black. I think everyone needs one. All right, so let's see what else is going on here. So this electronic skin the electronic sensor that can pick up signals such as heartbeat, electrical impulses, and muscle movement. Okay, this is about the same thing as the microchips that the Pentagon was developing. I don't want to wear any of your monitors, people, government, whatever. I want you to leave me the hell alone, and it doesn't matter what you think is happening with me. I'll just go to the doctor if I need to, and I don't necessarily need to have the doctor call me out of the blue. Although the idea is kind of cool, it's kind of futuristic and shit, but I'm not feeling it. Anyone feeling it? Okay, some of you gave some answers on the number of how long the speech would be. I gotta scroll back up here. All right, I saw, let's see, 15 to 25 minutes, or he fades. I'm with you there. I'm 20 minutes is where I was at. Brian says that too. 15 minutes, 2 minutes, 30 seconds. No, it'll be longer than that. 13 and a half minutes. Yeah, everyone's kind of in that 13 to 25 minutes range. Does anyone here think that the president's speech will be longer than an hour? Just curious. Because a lot of these State of the Unions and address, what they call it, the address to the joint session, a lot of them end up being, hour and a half. Bill Clinton, I think, did almost 2 hours once. They go for a long time because there's a lot to talk about. But I don't think that's going to happen. Now, I am curious what topics he's going to talk about. Yes or no? Actually, here's how you're going to answer this. Put border yes or border no. Will Joe Biden mention the border? Yes, border no. Fauci quack. Yeah, exactly. I think he is. He hasn't. Look, he's not a practicing physician. He's not even warming up. he just, I think he's been at the head of the NIH too long, and people put too much trust in him. And look, here's the thing. Okay, I was thinking about this today too. So this thing people like to bitch about, people complaining about the masks, right? And now, if the masks are so effective and so important, and that we will all die if we're not wearing a mask, then couldn't you say that Dr. Fauci has probably killed hundreds of thousands of people in the United States? Let me explain. So early on, Dr. Fauci said people don't need to wear masks. He said early on that people did not have to wear masks. He said that. And I know a lot of people and I'm still watching people on Twitter say Trump didn't do anything, didn't do didn't do nothing to save, during this pandemic. He ignored it. He pretended it was a hoax. He did this and this and that. He said it was a hoax, which is a lie. But, who was his advisor? Who were his advisors? Who was his top advisor regarding the pandemic? Well, that'd be Dr. Fauci. Remember when they said that that Trump said it was a hoax, which he did not. And not even 2 days later, Dr. Fauci's on the Today Show saying, you're not going to need to change your behaviors. You're not going to need to do this. Not going to need, you just need to be cautious, but don't change your behaviors. And now everyone right now is saying, social distance, wear a mask, change it, don't do this, go stay out of restaurants, yada, yada, yada. Now, the CDC recently said, well, if you're vaccinated, now you're allowed to go outside without a mask. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? That hasn't changed. Nothing's changed about going outside with a mask. You never had to wear a mask outside if you're not around people. You didn't really have to wear a mask outside if you're around your family. That was never a thing. There was not a big thing about that, okay? And we've learned that being outside is probably the best place you can be if you don't want to catch the coof. But Dr. Fauci in the beginning said you don't need to wear masks. Now that even after the 15 days to slow the spread, notice it wasn't 15 days to eliminate this disease. It was never, anyone ever remember them saying, you need 15 days, we're going to lock it down, and you just stop the disease in its tracks completely? No. They said 15 days to slow the spread, meaning that it's going to spread anyway, but we want to slower the curve so that the hospitals aren't all overwhelmed at once. Now it's like there's people out there who think we need to lock everyone up and everyone has to do this until there's no more COVID-19. That's never going to happen. In a lot of the countries that did so well in the beginning, Germany, for example, they had a big outbreak in the fall because nobody had it yet. Then they have a big outbreak. Deaths per capita, we're 16th on the list in countries around the world. That means there's plenty of other places that have the problem with this. And look, the vaccine's a great thing for people who probably need it the most: the elderly, obese, the people who have other respiratory issues probably should take the vaccine. I mean, I think it's fine if everybody takes the vaccine. Does everybody have to take it? I don't know. Dr. Fauci says only 85% to get herd immunity. Although originally he said 50%. You need 50% of the population to get the vaccine. Would get you probably to herd immunity, because between the people who have already had it and the people who are getting the vaccine, that was he originally said that. Then he kept moving the goalpost higher and higher and higher. But it's funny. Joe Biden threatened to cancel 4th of July activities if everyone, if the vaccination keeps slowing down, because a lot of people weren't doing the second stab. Although, you know what? There's a big article. I don't know where it is. I don't have it handy, but a big article about 8% of people aren't getting their second vaccination. Wait a minute. And it made a big deal about it. It was one of those 8% of the people aren't getting the second vaccination. Doesn't that mean that 92% of the people who've been vaccinated have gotten their second vaccination? That's amazing. that 92% of the people who've gotten the first vaccination have gotten the second one. It's kind of like when they said the 6 people got blood clots from doing the Johnson & Johnson stab. y'all realize 7 million people have had that Johnson & Johnson stab, and you're panicking over 6 people who had blood clots? I don't know. It would seem to me that if you took any random 7 million people, 1 or 2 are going to have blood clots either way. But, who knows? COVID never visited a German because they didn't want to end up in a shower. Oh, my God. I shouldn't even have looked at that. Hey, by the way, support the channel, support the show. Now that I'm back live, hit the like button. Share the stream out. Throw a buck in the tip jar. You can do that at Streamlabs, YouTube, SuperChats, or whatever. Just saying. Been gone for a few days. Anyway, wow. So let's see what other BS is on Twitter, and then I'll get into the couple of the articles I already had ready. Let's see. Sid Miller alleges federal discrimination against white farmers in a lawsuit. Ooh, interesting. I don't know who Sid did. Let's see. This is interesting. This is the Texan News. 1,200 new cases in British Columbia, 5 deaths, now no travel until May 25th. People are getting fed up with this crap. I think there's going to be a full-on revolt in Canada. In some of these provinces that have lost their fucking, I swore again. Oh, I don't care. Lost their fucking minds. I guess I don't know. Hey, Canada people, anyone near Nova Scotia? Because the Lady Boomer and I were planning a short jaunt to Nova Scotia this summer, and I think that's been canceled. Diesel Dave, thank you so much. First sponsor of the show of the evening. You get a bell and a thank you! Woohoo! With a 5 spot and a big happy face, which makes me happy too. Thank you, Diesel Dave. I appreciate that for sponsoring the show tonight. Tonight's show is sponsored by Diesel Dave, longtime friend of the show and occasional viewer in the mornings. Drive the truck. I forgot to do that for you. By the way, good evening, Diesel Dave. How you doing? All right. So this is interesting. Sid Miller alleges federal discrimination against white farmers in a lawsuit. And some of us didn't lose our guns in a boating accident. Okay, that's funny. Yeah, I'm curious about Nova Scotia. Nope, but I have friends there. They are considering a lockdown. Oh, so they're not locked down. I know that. So your illustrious prime minister, the son of Fidel Castro, has made traveling to Canada very prohibitive. So, for example, we wanted to go into Canada to go see the waterfalls at Thunder Bay when we did our waterfall tour last year. But in Canada, if you go into Canada, you have to register to quarantine in place for 14 days. And you have to tell the government where you're going to be, and you better damn well be there for 14 days. Well, we were going in for an hour and a half, and so we said, in the immortal words of Elvis, "Fuck it," and said we're not going into Canada for that. So we said we'll try to do it another time. But I do want to see the waterfalls at Thunder Bay just look really cool. I want to go check that out. But anyway, we were planning this summer to go to Nova Scotia because my wife, her 7th level great-grandfather, great-great-great-great-great-great-grandfather was a loyalist during the Revolutionary War as the United States was being formed. And so he got kind of exiled to Canada for being a loyalist, and then King George sent him money in Nova Scotia, and he, basically set up shop in Nova Scotia because he lost all his possessions in the United States, or in the States, or whatever, the colonies that were no longer colonies. And so he ended up in Nova Scotia, and he built a house there. They named the town after him later, and the house is still there. And so we've always wanted to drive up into Nova Scotia and check it out. And those 3 states, or let's see, Maine, Massachusetts, New Hampshire, and Vermont are 4 states in the United States that I haven't been to. I've down to 7, and those are 4 of them. And so I wanted to drive up into we're going to take 2.5 weeks, drive around New England and drive up to Nova Scotia, check out the little town, come back out, check out there's a bunch of cool waterfalls in Nova Scotia too. If you haven't noticed, I'm really into waterfalls. We were going to check out some waterfalls in Nova Scotia and then drive around New England and just see the countryside. Well, if we go into Canada, we're stuck there for 14 days minimum quarantine in place before you can go anywhere. So, and let's see. Oh, Jaeger says, yeah, it'll end up costing you around $3,000 for those 14 days. Yeah, that's what I heard. So anyway, that plan's probably not going to happen unless, unless all the government is thrown out on their ear, which I'm sure there's some Canadians thinking about how that could happen too. So let's see. Sid Miller. This is interesting. This article just popped up on my screen. And let me put it on so it'll fit here. Somebody named Sid Miller claims that the USDA has violated the Civil Rights Act by only giving certain federal aid to non-white farmers and ranchers. Hello, Alone. How you doing? Buster Outlaws, what's up? Yes, I am out of YouTube jail. Nice to see you. Alone is always lost in nothing else. For those of you who don't know that, I call that person Alone because that's what the acronym is. Freedom! 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 Okay, I'm way out of tune on that one. I could sing that song, but then I might get a copyright claim on this video because you can't even sing someone else's song. Although he's dead. George Michael's dead. I don't know if his... Anyway, who cares? Anyway, the Texas Agriculture Commissioner, Sid Miller, has sued the U.S. Department of Agriculture, claiming it discriminates against white farmers. The USDA sends certain aid money to socially disadvantaged farmers and ranchers, defining the term socially disadvantaged to include African Americans, American Indians, Alaska Natives, Asians, Hispanics, and Pacific Islanders. In his 11-page lawsuit, Miller argues that this interpretation leaves out white farmers. Equal rights under the law is the cornerstone of American constitutional jurisprudence, the principle that all citizens, regardless of status, wealth, race, color, religion, or creed, have the same rights and are entitled to the same standards of justice. The lawsuit reads, yet today, the Department of Agriculture lurches America dangerously backwards, reversing the clock on American progress and violating our most sacred and revered principles by actively and invidiously discriminating against American citizens solely based upon their race. This is illegal, it is unconstitutional, it is wrong, and it must stop. Federal code defines socially disadvantaged group as a bit more broadly than the USDA's specific racial terms. As Miller notes in his lawsuit, this term socially disadvantaged group means a group whose members have been subjected to racial, ethnic, or gender prejudice because of their identity as members of a group without regard to their individual qualities in federal law. Miller argues that this definition, which unlike the USDA rules names no particular racial groups, can include white ethnic groups that have unquestionably suffered ethnic prejudice, naming Irish, Italians, Jews, Germans, Jews, and Eastern Europeans. Specifically, Miller makes 3 claims to the court. I'm not going to read this whole thing, but that's interesting that he's making that argument, and I'm really curious as how the courts are going to see that, and if I'm sure he'll be slammed as a racist. That's racist. But you know how it goes. Hello, Jedi Ghost Bear. Nice to see you, my friend. And Avocados Diabli. Yes, they let me out of YouTube prison and gave your stream an ad. Well, you know, here's the thing. I was still monetized. I just was in that YouTube jail where you can't stream. So at least they were going to let me, you know, I've been uploading videos, and I'm actually, you know what? Now I've figured out how to make it easier to upload videos, so I'll probably do more of that. I figured out that I can record videos using Streamlabs, and it makes it really nice and aesthetically pleasing, although, you know, I have to change some of the graphics and maybe have a separate, separate groove for that. But anyway, so I'll probably make more standalones too. So there you go. The last thing you need is another copyright strike. Well, the thing is though, with music, now I get, they call them there's a difference between a strike and a copyright claim. What they do with music a lot of times, or if it's, someone else's video, they'll say they'll make a copyright claim. if you're using someone else's material that, but on a claim, they just end up taking part of or all of the revenue for that video or stream. Now, they used to automatically, if you got a copyright claim and you didn't dispute it, they would automatically take all the revenue from that video or stream. Now, not including super chats and stuff like that, but just any of the ad revenue, they would give it to the person who made the claim. Now it looks like they've changed that, because a lot of times if I do an 1.5-hour stream and there's some music in the background by accident, like when we did our stream from the Trail Stop Tavern in St. Paul, that was a 4-hour stream, right? And in the background music in the bar, there's music playing. Well, 3 different entities made a copyright claim on that video. Now, frankly, I don't care. The amount of money that you make from the ad revenue on those streams is tiny. At least I think it is. I don't know. It's a blip right now because my channel is so small. But if I was a bigger channel, I'd be like, no. But so it used to be, though, if those people would make that claim, all the ads that would play before, during, and after, and I cut out the ads during videos and streams. I don't think that. I hate doing that. I hate getting them, so I don't like making other people watch them. Although I use YouTube Premium, so I don't get ads anyway. But I know how much people hate ads in the middle of a video or in the middle of a stream. And I've seen some videos, like longer format videos where, it might be some event or something that people watch. And I've seen people put 9 or 10 ads in the middle of a video. But let me get back to this. So on that particular stream, I have 3 of them. Normally, they would take any ad revenue from people who watch that stream. I can't imagine anyone watching that stream in its entirety, but if they got ads on it, then part of the revenue would go to all 3 of those other entities, but they share it now. They split it up. But let's take that 4-hour stream. The segment that they gave me that said that this part of the stream was being there's a claim on this, like it was like a 2-minute stretch where there was music in the background that you could hear or understand. They used to take it for just 2 minutes in that video. They would take all the revenue from the stream, or sometimes 5 seconds. In the past when they were doing this, if there's 5 seconds that they can claim copyright on, they would take all the ad revenue from the video, no matter how long it was. So people got a little pissed at that because sometimes it was just incidental music. Sometimes it'd be like if someone's doing a video out in the street and there's a car that's playing music that drives by and there's 5 seconds of a song that's in the video because someone had some incidental music, go by, they'd claim the whole stream. Anyway, stupid. Anyway. All right, let's see here. What else? Let me go down here. Anything interesting? Man arrested with 35 songbirds hidden in hair cutters strapped to his body at JFK. Boy, people are weird. He had this guy he had 35 songbirds hidden in hair curlers strapped to his body. Finches. Oh, finches are sought for singing competitions in Brooklyn and Queens. Okay, he's smuggling finches through JFK Airport. Good to know. Let's see. Ted Cruz. Starting today, I'm no longer accepting money from any corporate PAC. I urge my GOP colleagues to do the same. For too long, Republicans have allowed the left and their big business allies to attack our values and ship jobs overseas with no response. No more. Interesting. Your woke money is no good here. Oh, I see. Because, a lot of the corporations are... the corporations are playing social engineering. Thank you, Mr. Alone. How you doing? Hey, that's catching on, isn't it? Thank you, Alone, Mr. Alone, for sponsoring the show through Streamlabs. Who says donation number 328. Puff puff. Will you still go live in the morning or the evening? My show will still be Monday through Friday, 10 o'clock Eastern, 9 o'clock Central, 1500 GMT during daylight savings time. And I will occasionally do streams in the evening, but my main show is going to be at its normal time. Although tomorrow I've decided I'm going to take that day off and just maybe make a couple videos. And I got some work to do around the house. Lady Boomer is in Colorado right now, and she gets back Friday. So I ought to make sure the house is nice and spiffy and shiny when she gets back. So, but yes, I'm going to have my normal morning night live show, 10 o'clock Eastern, 9 o'clock Central. And then I'll probably be starting to make more. Well, I'm starting to make more videos already. So there you go. Thank you for asking. And thank you for sponsoring this show. Again, you can sponsor the show through YouTube Super Chats or Streamlabs, which is in the, well, you can just go to PDawgKnight.live or open a window, and up in the right-hand corner, there's a little donation box. You can do that, and that's how the Streamlabs comes to me, and then I say whatever you said and all that stuff. So, let's see. He's no longer accepting money from corporate PACs. Oh, and then someone, Gail Turner Strong. Here's an exciting factoid. A majority of Texas voters, 51%, and 52% of Texas independents support Cruz's resignation following his role in inciting the January 6th insurrection. Are you sure? Are you sure about that? Are you sure about that? I'm not buying it. And I'm going to guess that when these little misdemeanor trials for the insurrection are over, people are going to be looking stupid. I'm just saying. On that note, let's it's 7:15. What time's that stupid speech? 9 o'clock Eastern, so 8 o'clock. Okay, I got time. I'm gonna wrap it up here. I do want to go through a couple of these articles though, because I don't know if you knew this, but oh, by the way, Mr. Alone,
you are the new Streamlabs Superstar Donor of the Day.
Thank you very much. All right, this is interesting. Derek Chauvin's medical defense witness is now being investigated for wrongthink. So that dude, he was a witness for the defense, is now under investigation. This is a little scary, if you ask me. One defense witness already had a bloody head of a pig left on what intimidators thought was his front porch in punishment for testifying on behalf of Derek Chauvin. Now, state-sponsored intimidators are targeting another defense witness in the trial of the police officer accused of killing George Floyd in Minneapolis in 2020. His offense? Wrongthink. This is terrible. Dr. David Fowler, former Maryland medical examiner and forensic pathologist, testified for defendant Derek Chauvin on day 13 of the trial that the former cop's actions weren't solely responsible for George Floyd's death. And because of this opinion, Maryland will now investigate 17 years of his findings in state cases, which includes the case of Freddie Gray, Anton Black, and other high-profile perps who died in police custody. Fowler ruled Gray's deaths several days after being in police custody as a homicide, a medical term which means another contributed to his death. Police officers put on trial for his death were exonerated. Specifically, Fowler testified that George Floyd died because he had a sudden cardiac arrhythmia due to atherosclerotic and hypertensive heart disease during his restraint by police, as a trial watcher attorney Andrew Bronca put it. Evidence presented at the trial and acknowledged by both sides showed that Floyd suffered from an enlarged heart, 90% and 75% occlusions in his arteries going in and out of his heart, years of drug abuse and anxiety, skyrocketing blood pressure, had ingested an opioid and a meth cocktail, smoked for years, was right by the police cruiser exhaust, and struggled for 10 minutes against 3 cops, which necessitated a knee hold on Floyd in the prone position. Prosecutors put on witnesses that said none of that had anything to do with his death. I don't even know if I have a good sound for that, but anyway. Oh, what the hell did I do there? Okay. The jury believed it. I see. Prosecutors said none of that. Oh, and the jury believed that too, quickly delivering a guilty verdict on all charges. I still don't think they got it right on 2 of the 3. The third, I think they got it right. And now, because Fowler was in the wrong side of the case, his reputation must die. You know, you think this is just a shot across the bow to all witnesses in high-profile cases who may not be on the popular side of the case. Not good. Washington, D.C.'s former chief medical examiner and a group of 400... Washington, D.C.'s former chief medical examiner and a group of 431 doctors from around the country sent a letter to Maryland Attorney General and Governor claiming that Fowler's testimony was outside the bounds of normal medical opinion and that his previous conclusions of Maryland cases should be reconsidered. Unbelievable. CBS Minnesota reported part of the content of the complaint letter. So here's what Dr. Fowler stated opinion that George Floyd's death during active police restraint should be certified with an undetermined manner is outside the standard medical practice and conventions for investigating and certification of in-custody deaths. This stated opinion raises significant concerns for his previous practices and management, the letter said. Specifically, they concluded Fowler's observation that carbon monoxide affecting Floyd. The doctor said bringing it up was unethical. Why? What? Oh, my God. Prosecutors never turned over that information before the trial, dumping it on the defense as it did with thousands of pages of documents at the last minute during a defense case, which seems a tad unethical. But these doctors have endgame in mind. They don't just want the investigations. They want to make sure Dr. Fowler never works again. Yeah, he's like My Pillow guy. By the way, My Pillow guy now has had his product removed from Costco, one of the last giant retailers carrying his stuff. Feel bad for Mike Lindell. Anyway, quote, investigation into the medical license of David Fowler, MD, for possible ethical violations associated with death in custody diagnosis. Holy shit. Well, he is retired anyway. He works with a consortium of medical examiners who act outside experts for trial. So I guess he can't be fired, but still, oh boy. Fowler told the Post that he didn't work alone, but that he stands behind their work. Boy, you can read the rest of that article because I'll have this article in the description down below after the show, but that's just bullshit. My God. Yes, it is a witch hunt. It is absolutely a witch hunt. Holy shit, that's terrible. All right, let's see what I got here. What am I doing for time? Okay, we're doing okay. Oh, I've been going an hour already? Wow, I must have a big mouth. By the way, if you got a cocktail or a drink or a water or a cup of coffee or a soda or whatever you have, this would be a good time to take a sip. With me, we'll do one of those what's his name? Scott Anderson? Scott, the Dilbert guy. We'll do a simultaneous sip. 1, 2, 3. All right. Moving on. Oh, Target stores. Remember Target? Remember them? In fact, they're based in Minneapolis. Well, Target has decided to I don't even know how to put this other than the title of this article. Target honors violent Minneapolis riots with a mural of burning building. The same Target store that was gutted by looting and arson last summer as riots raged across Minneapolis over the death of George Floyd now displays art on the side of its building celebrating Black Lives Matter themes, including a burning building. Created by 5 young black artists in a remarkable partnership between the multi-billion-dollar retail chain and a resourceful Northside nonprofit, Juxtaposition Arts, the work reflects how George Floyd's death at the hand of a Minneapolis police galvanized artists to think anew about the roles they can play in affecting social change. The Star Tribune wrote in a feature of the project in December. The mural the once ransacked Lake Street Target shows a myriad of panels spelling out, "We stand together, we build together." By setting fire to a building. Anyway, using depictions of Floyd, black people, and the riots that ravaged the city less than a year ago. One panel features a group of people wearing hoods and masks holding up a sign that says, "I can't breathe," in front of what appears to be a building on fire. This one right here. Yes. Isn't that lovely? Wow. Just wow.
Wow.
Hello, Donatello Slapfellow. My favorite name on the internet. How you doing? The artists who designed the individuals panel for the Target mural were handpicked by Juxtaposition Arts, an organization that often boosts Black Lives Matter and racial justice initiatives around the city. It is unclear which burning building the artists who designed the mural intended for it to represent, but the artwork is currently displayed right across the street from the city's 3rd police precinct, which burned in May after rioters forced their way inside and vandalized the building, igniting several fires. Yes, that building is no longer standing. I think maybe it was the that's more like the building behind Ari. What's his name? Avi. What's that dude from MSNBC? Velci, Ani Velci, Ari Velci, whatever that dumbass is, who was saying it was a mostly peaceful riot, and there's a fucking building behind him in a completely engulfed in flames. Hello, FDW Nil. What's up? Okay. There's more, but I'm not going to read it. Let's see. What else we got here? Oh, yes. This one, too. So, apparently, there was, speaking of the Capitol riots, as we mentioned earlier. Oh, the Capitol insurrection! That happened earlier. Hello. Oh, nobody, not me. What's up? Gym owner sues for defamation after being publicly accused of rioting at the Capitol without evidence. Oh, I wonder if he's in jail. Apparently not. A gym owner in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania filed a defamation lawsuit against another person and the website he used to claim the owner participated in the January 6th Capitol breach, according to the Philadelphia Inquirer. In the suit filed on April 16th, Jim Worthington, who owns the Newton Athletic Club in Bucks County, Pennsylvania, alleged Gregory Bulla and MoveOn.org made false, malicious, and defamatory claims against him. Worthington's suit is in relation to Bullock's petition that started on January 10th that instructs the local community to end partnerships with Newtown Athletic Club over the business owner's supposed role in the Capitol. See, they want you dead or begging in the street. Hello, Jason Arnold. What's up? And Michael Hatfield, what's up? I am doing well. Michael, I am doing well because I can live stream again. I'm very happy about that. I'm really loud today. I just noticed that. I'll try to chip it down a little bit. Anyway, so quote, the violent attacks on our nation's Capitol building while the legislators were carrying out their sworn duty was an attack on American democracy and its Constitution, as if the fucking who put this, as if media or MoveOn.org gives a rat's ass about the Constitution. They would love to rip up parts of the Constitution they don't like. You think? The petition, which has over 7,200 signatures as of today, schools, particularly religious ones, should not be associated with it or with any business that supports or enables it. This was the petition. Now, while Worthington organized 3 buses with 200 people total to Washington, D.C. on January 6th, he asserts in the suit that he was not even at the Capitol riot and did not commit any illegal activity. Worthington contacted the petition owner after it was started and demanded to be removed due to its false premise, but he never received word back. Well, of course, because they're a bunch of assholes. The freedom of speech that we enjoy in this country does not give an individual or organization license to make false, malicious, and defamatory accusations of criminal conduct that are intended to harm Mr. Worthington, and the NAC attorney Jeffrey Johnson said, who is representing Washington. So, good. Sue their asses off. I hope you win. And even if you had been in the Capitol, I just say, you know what? Probably weren't doing anything like, because very few people actually fought with police. And then a lot of people were just being let in because it was kind of the thing everyone was doing. I don't know. Not that I think it was a good thing. I think it was stupid that they did it, but it was definitely not an insurrection. It just wasn't. Anyway. All right. I'm going to get through these last couple, and then we're going to get out of Dodge. And also speaking of the Capitol, and I mentioned Brian Sicknick earlier because we know that Brian Sicknick was not killed due to any injuries or bear spray that was sprayed in his face and caused him to have the stroke. Unrelated to strokes is bear spray, but the two people who were being prosecuted for attacking Brian Sicknick with bear spray, well, the prosecutor in the case admits that the defendant did not use bear spray against officers during the Capitol Hill riot. Oh, no! It does not appear that bear spray that Mr. Julian Eiley Cotter was holding 10 minutes earlier was not, or appears it was not. What? This is terrible. Okay, this is a terrible sentence. Listen to this sentence. This is a bad sentence. This is a terrible sentence. It does not appear the bear spray that Mr. Cotter was holding 10 minutes earlier was not used. What? Now, that's a double negative, so that would mean it was used. I think he screwed up there. Assistant U.S. Attorney Gilead Light admitted that Julian Eiley Cotter, 32, did not use the bear spray he had in his hand during the January 6th Capitol riot. Well, at least they stopped using the word insurrection. Well, actually, legal insurrection. Has never used that word for this event. Julian Eiley Cotter, 32, of State College, Pennsylvania, and George Pierre Tanios, 39, of Morgantown, West Virginia, are charged in spraying the chemical irritant at Capitol Police officers Brian Sicknick and Caroline Edwards, as well as Metropolitan Police Department officer Damian Chapman. However, during the hearing, Assistant U.S. Attorney Gilead Light acknowledged to Hogan that bear spray was never used despite video clips presented earlier in the case. It does appear the bear spray that Mr. Cotter was holding 10 minutes earlier was not used. Oh, see, they messed up in the sentence up here. Oh, it does appear. Okay, never mind. I just read it wrong. Sorry. Thank you, Patrice Ripley, our official K-pop aficionado for the Morning Night Live and the PDawgKnight Channel. Nice to have you here. So, it does not appear the bear spray that Mr. Cotter was holding 10 minutes earlier was. It does appear that it was not used. It does appear that it was not used. Okay, I'm just reading those parts of the sentence that are pertinent. Saying empty mace containers were recovered from Tanios and Cotter's homes. However, Light maintained purchasing and carrying bear spray showed intent. And did he use it? Why else would you bring bear spray? It's an uncontested fact that there's no bears in downtown D.C. Prosecutors said that Cotters and Tanios schemed for trouble. They prepared together, traveled together, planned together, and executed their attack, giving rise to a separate charge of conspiracy to attack law enforcement officers. Prosecutors wrote, this brazen and ultimately cowardly act of spraying unprotected officers in the face while looking elsewhere speaks to the dangerousness of the defendants. They're really, really trying to get some nasty convictions of some of these people. And I mean, even in the beginning, I said, you know what? Yeah, some of these people probably should at least spend a little time in jail, but the idea that this was an insurrection is bullshit. Cotter's attorney, Joseph Tacopina, told U.S. District Court Judge Thomas Hogan that Light did not mention the two defendants had been doused with pepper spray administered by police moments earlier. From WTOP, quote, however, attorneys for Cotter and Tanios said prosecutors have shown only videos and photos in which the two appear to be holding a canister, which was removed from a backpack. In addition, the wind was blowing as much as 20 miles per hour at the time of the incident. Given these circumstances, the government seemingly it will seemingly have difficulty establishing that it was Mr. Cotter and not another, even possibly law enforcement, responsible for the something that struck the officers in this case, wrote Takapita and co-counsel Chad Siegel and Alvin Thomas in their motion seeking pre-trial bond. Yeah, these guys are still in jail. They're still in jail. You know what? No speedy trial and no non-excessive bail for these guys. They're dangerous. Hello, assassin of the Gray. What's up, Gray? I haven't seen you for a while. Well, I haven't seen anybody for a while because I was in jail. I'm not anymore. All right. DHS launches department-wide review to identify and combat extremists in its ranks. It just never stops, man. It just doesn't. So, domestic violent extremism poses this is a quote. That's bullshit. This is a quote. Domestic violent extremism poses the most lethal and persistent terrorism-related threat to our country today, Department of Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas declared Monday, ordering a department-wide probe to ferret out extremists or any Republicans in the DHS, citing the January 6th attacks on the U.S. Capitol. Secretary Mayorkas said that the DHS must identify and combat domestic violent extremism within its ranks. Quote, recent events, including the January 6th attack on the U.S. Capitol, have highlighted that domestic violent extremism poses the most lethal and persistent terrorism-related threat to our country today. Addressing this threat is an urgent priority of the Biden-Harris administration and of this department. We will continue to work with our partners to immediately address it as we work to safeguard the nation and our values. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to laugh at that. We must be vigilant in our efforts to identify and combat domestic violent extremism within both the broader community and our own organization. Violent extremism has no place at DHS, and we will work with urgency and focus to address it. Given the evolving threat landscape and the grave risks posed by domestic violent extremism, including to our employees and operations, I have directed the department to immediately begin a review of how to best prevent, detect, and respond to domestic violent extremism threats within DHS. The team managing this internal effort, led by our chief security officer, will report back to me with its recommendations. You know, I got to tell you. Do you think that if there were, what does he say? What do you call them? He called them domestic violent extremism. Domestic violent extremism in our own ranks. Do you think they would have figured that out at some point in the Department of Homeland Security? Think they would have figured that out a long time ago? Maybe yeeted some of these, because you know what that means. They're just Republicans and people with wrong think. Not that they haven't done their job well, not that they sorry, I'm going Biden on you.
You know the thing.
All right, let's see what do I got left here. I got a few more. Let's close this out with these three, and then we're gonna get out of here because I want to go watch the president give his 20-minute speech. Black Hebrew Israelite.
That's right.
Also, Sean, what's happening? Sean, you were here earlier, though, weren't you? PDawg sounds bored with the BS. No, that's about how exciting that Alejandro Mayorkas is when he talks. He's boring as hell. Anyway, nice to see y'all. Welcome back. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the stream that wasn't as of a few days ago. Let's see here. I already did that one. Oh, there's an article in the Federalist. I'm not sure if people are going to take this well. not the people here, but people who might read this article from somewhere else besides getting it here. He's making the argument that the Derek Chauvin verdict is more evidence America isn't systemically racist. That the U.S. justice system punished Derek Chauvin shows both the promise of America and the hollowness of critical race theory. That's an interesting take, and I'm sure everyone agrees. When the jury announced its verdict in Derek... Now, look. Now, I have this article pulled up because I think it's as dumb as the people who say that the Derek Chauvin case proves that Derek Chauvin murdered somebody, or that the Derek Chauvin verdict means something larger in the bigger picture of how America is now coming to grips with its racism, or that the Derek Chauvin verdict means anything other than some people convicted Derek Chauvin of that particular individual incident. Period. That's it. That's all it means to me. Doesn't mean anything else. It doesn't mean evidence of this, doesn't mean evidence of that. Although it may be a tiny speck of evidence that what it tells me is that, you know what it tells me? Is that when jurors are really afraid for their life and what could happen to them when they become non-jurors after the trial's over, especially in a giant case like this where billions of dollars of damage have happened to not only the city that the trial is in, but around the country, and including a big riot in a city just northwest of where this trial is happening, that maybe those jurors might be like, I'm putting guilty on all of these. I ain't messing with this stuff. They're going to burn my house down if I don't give the right verdict. That's what I think. I think they were wrong on 2 of the charges because there was definitely reasonable doubt on whether or not there was an underlying felony that would be required for there to be felony murder. And if anyone wants to argue with that me in a live stream, I'm happy to do it. If you receive this and go, what did he just say? That felony murder verdict was wrong? Yeah, it's absolutely wrong. Absolutely wrong. Plenty of reasonable doubt on that particular one. And I will explain why if you want to talk to me about it. But there has to be an intentional underlying felony assault. And unless you can tell me exactly when that happened, there is no such thing as felony murder. Felony murder in Minnesota is not a murder. It means that someone dies during the commission of a felony. And I want to know when the felony assault was. When did Derek Chauvin's? And look, I say if I would have been his defense lawyer, I would have made it perfect. I would have argued that in order for this to be a felony murder, I'm going to argue that this had to be a felony assault. He was doing a procedure he was trained to do. Now, can you argue that maybe he did it poorly, or maybe he didn't have situational awareness? Yes, absolutely. That's not a felony assault. That's unintentional. In Minnesota, a felony assault must be intentional, or it must be a misdemeanor assault that's repeated against the same person multiple times. That's the law. There's 5 levels of assault in Minnesota. Felony assault, there's a couple different levels of that. And for a felony assault must be intentional. When did Derek Chauvin intentionally assault George Floyd? When did that change? Because I could argue. I would have been asking all those witnesses, okay, especially the guys who said, this procedure, right? When I would ask them, when exactly, in your opinion, as an officer or as a whatever, did this turn into assault? Because they could say that procedure it was taught in the police department. They cannot deny it. It's in the Minneapolis Police Officer Handbook. Okay, so when did it become a felony assault? At best, you might, if you look at Minnesota statutes, and I've read all of them on this, it could be a misdemeanor assault, but it really couldn't be a felony assault. A felony assault is an intention to do bodily harm. Do you believe that he was intending to do bodily harm to George Floyd? And if it was a felony assault, well, there's surely no evidence from the autopsy that he was intending to do harm. If he was intending to do harm, he did a poor job because there were no, there are no tissue bruises. There's nothing. Okay. So basically it was holding him down using a procedure that he was taught at the academy, but did he do it poorly? Absolutely. Is that a felony assault? No. No felony assault, no felony murder. Now, the other charges, the second charge, depraved mind murder. Yeah, that's a tough one too. You got to prove that he had a depraved mind. Well, there's a lot going on around him. He's trying to do his job. The third manslaughter charge, I think they proved that, and the only thing that would have caused you not to have a guilty verdict on the manslaughter charge would be to convince the jury that because of the activity around that incident where they're holding George Floyd down, that it was so distracting that he could not, that he could not attend to George Floyd. Now, if you look around, there were not that many people around. It wasn't a huge crowd. There was like 7 or 8 people on the street, some people across the street, but no one coming near them. One guy yelling at him, other people telling George Floyd to get in the car. There were 3 other officers there. I think you can make the case that because of his lack of situational awareness, which is my favorite term regarding this case, that he is liable for George Floyd's death as far as a manslaughter. Okay? Wasn't doing his job. He should have been at least one of those officers should have been paying attention to George Floyd, which probably should have been Chauvin since he was nearest to his head and talking to him. The other 2 officers as soon as he lost consciousness, they should have been trying to revive him. They didn't. That is the negligence that would be required for manslaughter. The other 2 charges, I think the lawyers focused too much on some other things and spent too much time on their clothes instead of arguing whether or not there was an underlying felony assault. I love talking about that. I'm waiting to talk to somebody who I can disagree with on that. I'm going to try to talk to Amazing Lucas, but I don't know if I think he might be done talking about this. Anyway, let me do a couple super chats here. Thank you, Black Hebrew Israelite.
That's right.
With the $2 through YouTube super chat, who says, so the Democrats are purging the military.
That's right.
Yes, they are. Yes, they are. Thank you, Dontel Slappy Fellow. YouTube super chat. Thank you for sponsoring the show. Has your sense of taste come back yet? Just curious. Thanks for the stream. No. Wait a minute. Not no. I actually, I can taste certain things. Not much though, and my sense of smell hasn't come back either. So I have to shower every day because I don't know if I stink, and sometimes I can get away with not showering, but I can't tell anymore, so I have to shower every day. And Black Hebrew, thank you for sponsoring the show with the Lincoln. And again, Black Hebrew Israelite.
That's right.
Who says time to take over Mexico for wiped Hebrews. Wiped. WIPETD. Drop, wipe, and dip. Anyway, thank you guys for sponsoring the show. I really appreciate it because I've been out of sync for a few days. Anyway, I'm not even going to read this article. I don't think it tells you one way or another whether America is systemically racist, because in this case, I think the jury had other major pressures on them to come up with a guilty verdict. And the fact that they did it in 11 hours after that case, after that long of testimony and whatnot, they just wanted to get the hell out of Dodge and not get killed. That's my personal opinion. That's not a, whatever. It's not necessarily a fact. That's an opinion, and I'm sticking to it. But these kind of articles, whether it says one way or the other, I'm I'm not buying it. You know what? Let me. No, I'm not going to go through it because I only have a few more minutes before I need to watch our president speak. I'm going to skip the teacher union one. Oh. Well, I have a counter, kind of a counter article with this. I'll just leave this in the description down below. But this one is how the left turned Chauvin into a racist killer. They needed a cause as epic as the damage, and they needed a villain. And I'll just give you the kind of the beginning of this. You can read the rest yourself. Although he made up his mind before the jury did, President Joe Biden quickly went public once he learned that a Minneapolis jury had in fact convicted former police officer Derek Chauvin on all charges. It was murder in the full light of day, and it ripped the blinders off for the world to see. The systemic racism and the vice president just referred to. The systemic racism that is a stain on our nation's soul. So said the only president to have given a eulogy at the funeral of the exalted Klan Cyclops, and that just 10 years before Floyd's death. Hello, random American. The comments by Biden, endorsed by the media, frame the Overton window on George Floyd's death and Chauvin's verdict. The only acceptable public opinion is that Chauvin intentionally caused Floyd's death. If proof were needed, the former NFL great Brett Favre was tarred and feathered on Twitter for haplessly suggesting otherwise. The only question for debate really is whether Chauvin was a bad apple or a symptom of a rotten barrel. Ignoring the fact that 3 of Chauvin's fellow officers will soon face trial for the same death, Biden, Harris, and other media allies came down firmly on the side of systemic rottenness. To confirm their suspicions, the White House sent Attorney General Merrick Garland to Minnesota to root out the rot. Yes, they're going to investigate the Minneapolis Police Department now. Before weighing in further on the issue, however, Biden and his ventriloquists needed to ask themselves a fundamental question. How exactly did a city with a liberal mayor and a black police chief and a state with a liberal governor and a black liberal attorney general breed a crew of racist killers, 3 of whom are non-white? In the way of background, sometime in mid-May 2020, I heard screams outside my urban office. Going out to check, I saw a male cop kneeling on the shoulder neck area of a prone handcuffed woman. He was white. She was too. Thank God this story had no news value or our city was spared. About 10 minutes of her struggling and screaming, backup arrived. I did not see what the woman had done to deserve her predicament, but the arriving officers promptly placed the cannibal mask over her head. I presume the offense must have been serious. A week or so later, when I saw the George Floyd tape, I was not shocked. I had seen in person the same restraint applied to a woman. It does look awful, given what I had seen on my street. I chose not to prejudge the officers. I need the prosecutors to convince me beyond a reasonable doubt of the 2 facts they would have had to prove to the jury. First, as defense attorney Eric Nelson phrased it, what was that Chauvin had an intent to purposely use unlawful force. The second, just as important, was that the defendant's action caused death of Mr. Floyd. For the record, Chauvin had nothing to do with Floyd's passing of a counterfeit $20 bill. 2 rookie cops, J. Alexander King and Thomas Lane, were summoned to the scene by the store manager. They pulled in at 8:08 p.m. and at about 8:16, Park Police Officer Peter Chang arrived. After receiving the call that officers needed assistance, Chauvin and his partner, Do Tao, arrived at 8:17. Chang pointed to the car where King and Lang were struggling with Floyd. Go over there, said Chang. They need your help. Floyd, 6'4", 233 pounds at the time of his autopsy, was aggressively resisting arrest. The 2 rookie officers could not get him into the police car. At the request of the Minneapolis Police Department officers, Chang was monitoring the scene. The crowd was very aggressive towards the officers, he testified. Unlike the other 4 officers, Chang was not charged. After assessing the situation for about 1 minute, Chauvin joined in the struggle to get the handcuffed Floyd seated. He did not use any racial slurs, nor did he curse Floyd or call him names, although authorized to use higher levels of force, including punches, kicks, elbows, or taser, he chose not to. Such a racist.
That's racist!
Here, because, you know, everyone should have that opportunity to have the punches and kicks and elbows and a taser shot at him. He heard Floyd repeat the refrain, "I can't breathe," and saw foam around his mouth, suggesting a drug overdose. He engaged Floyd in conversation. "Chauvin, you need to take a seat right now. I just had COVID, man. I don't want to go through that." "Okay, I'll roll the windows down. "Hey, listen, you need to take a seat right now." "Dang, man, listen, I'm not the kind of guy. I'll roll the windows down if you put your legs in, all right? I'll put the air on." Roughly 6 or 7 minutes before Floyd took his last breath, Chauvin had no signs of racism or brutality, let alone the potential for murder. To this point in the interaction, he had been polite, professional, and if anything, too patient. "I'll put the air on." Are those the words of a racist killer? I think that's a good point. As Chauvin understood, attempting to subdue a drug suspect a half foot taller than he and 80 pounds heavier was not going to be easy. Finally acknowledging the futility of their collective efforts, Chauvin let Floyd leave the car at 8:19. Thank you," said Floyd. When ordered to hit the ground, he sighed, "I want to lay on the ground. I'm going down." Rejecting the more aggressive but legal hobble restraint, cuffed hands and legs connected behind the suspect, Chauvin used the same restraint I saw applied on the sidewalk outside my office, knee on the area where the shoulder meets the neck. In addition to the officer's body cams, Chauvin could see bystanders recording the scene. If he were intentionally violating the law, he knew he would be found out. Now, let's just stop there. Kind of seems to be the point I was just making, doesn't it? I'm trying to figure out exactly when the felony assault occurred. I don't know if anyone can answer that. Because look, this goes on and on and on, going all the way through it. But so this is just a recap of the case, but the idea that they have made this about race at all is really odd to me. Did being called seem where the people who called the police, was that about race? It was a black kid at the store who did it and thought he was acting weird, like he was on drugs or something. Did the police coming after being called to that store to come and try to arrest George Floyd, was that because of his race? No, that was because they were called from the kid from the store. Was the fact that they were going to put him in a police car, was that because of his race? No, he was in the middle of being arrested. It had nothing to do with, there were no racial slurs. There were nothing. And then they were trying to be accommodating. They were trying to help him. He asked to go on the ground. They said, "Okay, we're going to put you on the ground." And when we saw the foam coming out of your mouth, he's like, "We're going to try to call an ambulance for you." Would they call an ambulance if it was just a racism thing, or they would just let it's just a black guy, just let him die, right? Do you think that would be it? I don't know. Let's see. Systemic. He is the system. Oh, man. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Joe Biden, you are the system. Moron. And their defense will be Chauvin's conviction, where the prosecution argued he was solely responsible. Oh, yeah, right? That's what the prosecutor said, that he was solely responsible for George Floyd's death. And now he has to come back and say these other 3 officers were also kind of responsible. Oh, wait a minute. You argued that he was the sole responsibility for George Floyd's death, that this man murdered him, not the other 3 cops, not the drugs, not his prior conditions, his pre-existing conditions. No. Derek Chauvin murdered George Floyd and nobody else. I think the other 3 cops are getting up. You know what? I'm wondering, do people really care? Okay, that's a dumb question. Do people really care if the other 3 cops get off? There'll be riots when they get off, and they may get off because of the prosecutor's words. And it doesn't matter if that prosecutor is in the courtroom when they prosecute these three, he's part of the prosecuting team. And part of your prosecuting team already said, nope, these three guys didn't do it. It was solely George Floyd. And so they're going to walk. And people are going to be angry. They're going to be pissed off to no end. So, people who live near me in the great state of Minnesota, in the Twin Cities, near Minneapolis, St. Paul, all the other suburbs, gird your loins now, because it ain't going to be pretty. It ain't going to be pretty. All right. I need to call it a day because I'm about to go watch my president. And so that's it for tonight, people. I got to go. My name is PDawgKnight, and I'm out of here. Bye-bye. Hey, this is PDawgKnight, and thank you for watching today on the PDawgKnight channel. If you have an observation or remark you'd like to make about this video or my channel, I absolutely welcome you to write it in the comment section down below. I really look forward to hearing from you. And before you go, if you like what you saw but you're not already subscribed, please make sure you hit the subscribe button and definitely click that bell that pops up afterwards so you'll be notified when I post new videos or when we go live. I broadcast my live show, The Morning Night Live, Monday through Friday at 10 o'clock Eastern, 9 o'clock Central. A special thank you to all the supporters of this channel who share our videos on social media and who make donations through Streamlabs, YouTube, Venmo, and Cashapp, which are all linked in the description down below. Thanks again, and until next time, I'm PDawgKnight, and I'm out of here.